I don't know if anyone will believe me behind the counter, but it wasn't me. Not exactly. I don't know if anyone will believe me, but I swear this happened. I still work nights, though I wish I could quit. What I saw made me question reality itself. I work at a small convenience store just outside of town. It's the kind of place that never closes. 24/7, bright fluorescent lights, stale coffee smell, and the same 3 customers who wander in at 2 a.m. for cigarettes or gas. I usually take the night shifts because they pay a little extra, and I don't really mind the quiet. That night, it was just like any other. I clocked in at 10 p.m., stocked the shelves, checked the register, and settled in behind the counter. Around midnight, a guy came in to buy an energy drink. I remember because he paid in coins, exact change down to the last penny, and it took me a minute to count it out. After that, it was uneventful. A few cars pulled up for gas, some trucker bought coffee, and the rest of the night blurred together in that slow, heavy-way nights always do. By 6 a.m., I was exhausted. I counted the drawer, logged everything in the system, and waited for my coworker, Karen, to show up for the morning shift. She walked in, yawning, and gave me the usual nod. But then she froze. "What are you doing here?" I frowned. "What do you mean?" "Finishing my shift." She looked pale. "You didn't work last night." I laughed, thinking she was joking. "Yeah, very funny. I've been here all night. Ask the security cameras." Her face didn't change. She pointed toward the back office. "I already did. I had to cover for you." My stomach dropped. "What?" I followed her into the office, where the monitors showed playback from the night. My shift. At first, I felt relief. Proof I was here. But then I leaned closer. The cameras showed the register, the counter, the shelves, all as I remembered, and me, or at least someone with my face, standing behind the counter. But it wasn't me. Not exactly. The posture was wrong. The movements too stiff, too deliberate. The way he scanned items or handed back change looked mechanical, like someone pretending to be human. Karen crossed her arms. "That's who I saw last night. That's who I worked with." I shook my head violently. That was me. I was here. I remember every second. She backed away, as if I scared her. The rest of the morning was a blur. I drove home in silence, replaying the night in my head. I remembered the energy drink guy, the trucker, the coins in my hand. How could I remember all that if I wasn't really there? That's when I checked my phone. There were no messages, no notifications, no calls. But the battery was drained, like I'd been using it all night. Except I hadn't touched it once during my shift. Couldn't let it go. After a couple hours of restless sleep, I went back to the store and begged Karen to show me the footage again. She sighed but let me watch. I studied every second. At 12:03 a.m., the guy with the coins came in. The me behind the counter smiled, counted the change, and bagged the drink, just like I remembered. But then I noticed something. On the tape, the clock on the register read 12:03. On my phone log, the time I wrote down the coin transaction was 12:17. Two different timelines. Somehow, my memory and the footage didn't line up. And then came the worst part. Around 4 a.m., when the store was empty, the fake me stopped moving. He just stood behind the counter, staring straight at the camera, for nearly 5 minutes. Then slowly he smiled. Not a normal smile. Too wide. Too many teeth. Karen turned away, muttering that she couldn't watch anymore. But I couldn't look away, because right before the screen cut to static, the fake me leaned close to the camera, close enough that his lips moved against the microphone. And though the audio was fuzzy, I swear I heard him say, "He doesn't belong here." For the next week, I tried to convince myself it was a glitch, a trick of memory. Maybe I was sleep-deprived, maybe Karen was messing with me. But then customers started asking questions. "Hey, where's that new guy? Looks just like you. Real quiet." Or, "Didn't you already work this morning? Saw you at the counter around 8. But I hadn't been there. I was home, asleep. Every time someone said it, I felt colder, like pieces of my life were being stolen. One night, I came in early, hoping to catch whoever or whatever it was. I hid in the stockroom with the lights off, peeking through the crack in the door. At 2 a.m., I heard footsteps. Slow, heavy. I held my breath. Through the crack, I saw him. Me. He walked to the counter, moved behind it, and stood there perfectly still like a mannequin come to life. For a long time, he didn't move. Then, as if he sensed me watching, his head snapped toward the stockroom door. Our eyes met through the gap, and he smiled. I stumbled backward, knocking over a box. When I looked again, the counter was empty. He was gone. I wanted to quit. God, I wanted to, but I needed the money. So I stayed, though I never worked nights alone again. Until last Friday. Karen called in sick, and the manager begged me to cover. I told myself it would be fine, that maybe it was all in my head. But when I got there, the register drawer was already open, logged in under my name, and on the counter, sitting neatly by the till, was a pile of coins. Exact change. I don't remember what happened after that. When I woke up, it was morning. Karen was shaking me, asking why I was asleep on the floor. She said I hadn't clocked in, that the cameras showed nothing but an empty store all night. But I remember being there, stocking shelves, ringing up customers, the weight of coins in my hand, and the smile, always the smile. It's been a week, and I don't know what's real anymore.